Welcome to BUS204, Business Statistics. I'm your professor, Dr. Annie No, and in this video, I'll be going over some of the course basics as well as a tour of Canvas. So here we are on our homepage, and you'll notice that I've got some quick links at the top, as well as brief instructions on how to navigate Canvas. I also have my office hours information listed here, and just below that is a glossary of the statistical symbols for the first few chapters of our course. At the start of each week, you'll want to click on the announcements button here for the weekly updates, but I also send an email on Monday mornings so that you'll know what to do for the week, and any additional announcements will be sent via email and the announcements page. To access the module for the week, you can click on the weekly modules button here, or you can click on the modules link on the left side of the screen. You'll also want to check the calendar, which can be found on the left here, as well as the coming up or to-do list section on the right here, so you'll know what assignments are due and when. There's also a quick button for the syllabus and the research project, and I have a separate video going over the research project for our course. So let's go ahead and click on the syllabus button. On our course syllabus page, you'll see a brief introduction to the course, as well as my contact information. And in the blue-yellow link here, you can click on that to download the full syllabus and review it carefully. Scrolling down, you can also see the course description and details. This is an 8-week, 3-unit course, so you are expected to invest approximately 18 hours per week doing the reading, watching the videos, and the various assignments. Also listed are the course objectives and the student learning outcome. But more importantly, if we scroll towards the bottom here, you can see the course summary, which details the entire structure of the course with all assignments and deadlines. So I have my class set up completely at the start, so you can see everything in advance and plan accordingly. I'll go ahead and click back to the home page. And then from here, I'll click on the weekly modules and give you a tour of how the course is structured. So here we are on our modules page, and in addition to the weekly modules, I have lots of resources organized by module. So the first thing you'll notice at the very top is our very first module called the Course Orientation and Resources module. Everything you need in terms of the course can be found here that will answer some of your basic questions about the course. And I'll go through it in just a moment, but I'll go ahead and scroll down further, and you can always minimize the modules if you don't need to see everything by using the little triangle here. The next module you'll notice is participation and some extra credit opportunities, so you can see what's available. The next module is an Airbnb Research Project Resources module. So as I mentioned, there's a research project we do in our class, and there are 2 modules, one that has all of the resources, and one that has all of the assignments related to the project in one place. These various assignments and resources will also be found in this specific weekly module, but I have them listed separately here for quick access. I also have a module on external resources. So if you need help with Excel or math or statistics or access to VMware, all of the links can be found right here. And then we get to the actual weekly modules. So again, since our class is an 8-week course, we are covering about 2 chapters a week. So you'll see here for the week 1 module, it's actually separated into 2 modules. So the week 1 module here that's dedicated just to chapter 1, and the week 1 module that's dedicated just to chapter 2. So I organize them this way so that you can quickly get to the chapter that you need to cover, but you can see that there are 2 modules that we cover in week 1. Similarly, if we look at week 2, we'll be covering chapter 3 in week 2 as well as chapter 4. And again, they're separated into 2 modules so that it's easy for you to get to the specific chapter you need to get to. So let's go ahead and go through the course orientation and resources module so you know what to expect. I'll go ahead and click on the Welcome to BUS204 Business Statistics. So on this welcome page, here's the link to the video that you're watching right now, so you can always rewatch it if you need to, and a brief overview about me and the course. I do have some links to Canvas tutorials if you need a refresher. And then I'll go ahead and click Next. On this page is a brief biography about me. So you've got my contact information, my office hours, the best way to contact me, along with my teaching philosophy and background. So take a moment to check out this page and let me know if you have any questions. Clicking Next. This will take you to my YouTube channel, which gives you access to all of the course videos in one place. But I do hyperlink all of the videos throughout Canvas in the corresponding module that you need it. But if you'd like to subscribe, you are more than welcome to. Clicking Next. Here's a summary of the weekly expectations for our course. Now, I like to break up my videos into shorter chunks based on content and concepts, as well as have interactive tutorials so that you're doing things hands-on, either using Excel or a practice problems worksheet. And so the general structure of our class is that you should be reading the assigned chapters, watching the lecture videos, and following along using the practice problems worksheet, which you can download here. I've created these worksheets to help guide your note-taking, so you don't have to take notes on everything that you see in the videos. It's more targeted that way, so you can just focus on the learning of the content and not having to write everything down. You can always write on the margins of the worksheet or have a separate notebook, but again, these worksheets will help guide you step by step through example problems, which are very similar to the homework problems. You'll also watch any interactive Excel how-to video tutorials, and they do come with files. So you can download the Excel files for all of the chapters right here. You can also access them as Google Sheets here, although you should be aware that Google Sheets does not work for all of the calculations in our course, but it works for many of them. In addition, we have reading quizzes that are due on Sundays at 11 p.m. We also have homework through a system called MyLab Statistics that are due on Sundays at 11. And most weeks include additional assignments related to a research project. Other course resources like study guides, videos on how to do the project can be found in the corresponding weekly module. Here is my assignment deadlines and late work policy. All assignments have a 1-day grace period. That means you do not have to ask for permission if you need an extra day to do your work. If you are still having trouble completing any of the assignments, please email me for help anytime. The exception to the grace period is exams. They are closed after the due dates listed in the course schedule. Please contact me before an assignment or an exam due date if you have extenuating circumstances and need an extension. Clicking Next. Here's the information on our required textbook and technology for the course. So the textbook that we're using is called Business Statistics, a Decision-Making Approach, the 10th edition with MyLab Statistics. So it has a specialized homework system. Now, I recommend getting it from the MiraCosta bookstore as a loose leaf textbook. So you'll get a hard copy of the textbook, and it comes with an access code to the MyLab Statistics system. You also get an ebook that way too. Do not buy our textbook from Amazon as it will not have our unique access code to MyLab Statistics. Alternatively, if you don't need a hard copy version of the textbook, you can always just get the ebook with access code, and it's a few dollars cheaper. You may also take advantage of the 14-day free trial to access all of the materials before you buy the book. There are no refunds after you buy the textbook with access. You need access to our textbook and homework system for the first week of class in order to complete the assignments. So whether that's by the free trial or paid access, make sure you have MyLab for the first week. In terms of technology, you need a calculator and access to a computer with Excel and internet. There are a number of ways you can get Excel. You can purchase it through collegebuys.org. You can access it for free virtually using VMware, which connects you to a campus computer. You can also use Office 365 for free from MiraCosta or use Google Sheets. Be aware, though, that these last two options here, the Chapter 10 and 14 statistical analyses, do not work in Office 365 or Google Sheets. It is not possible to pass our course without access to MyLab Statistics and Excel. I've had a few students try with no luck. Scrolling down further are the instructions on how to register for MyLab Statistics. Be aware that Safari on Mac does not work well. You'll have to use Chrome or Firefox. And please do not try to register through the publisher's website. So whatever option you choose for MyLab, you have to go through Canvas using the instructions right here. I have a video posted down here that walks you step by step on how to set up MyLab, again, either for the free trial or paid access. Clicking Next. On this page, I've compiled helpful tips on how to do well on the MyLab Statistics system. This is based on feedback from students as well as my experience with the system. So I strongly recommend reading through these tips carefully. And at the bottom, I do have a video walking through all of that as well. Clicking next. On this page, I provide information on VMware and the Excel Data Analysis Toolpack. So for those that don't have access to Excel, you can access a virtual computer at MiraCosta, which has Excel. And I've got a video on how to do it and the link to access it here. And if you scroll down below, here's the instructions on the Excel Data Analysis Toolpack. This will allow us to do some of the advanced stats in our course rather than doing things by hand. Here we have some resources for tutoring, workshops, and help desks. On this page, I have advice from past students. So every course, I ask students for feedback on things that they would share to future students. And so I've compiled them here, and it's advice on homework, on the vocab, on videos and technology, on quizzes and exams. And if you're interested in reading the detailed feedback, I've got links to all of that down below. At the end of the modules, you'll see an end of module page, which will just let you know that you got through the content. So I just want to take a moment to go over our first week of the course. And so you'll see here that I do have a discussion board that allows us to introduce ourselves and talk about the project for our course. I also have a PDF version of Chapter 1 if you are waiting on your textbook. And then here are the Chapter 1 resources. So every chapter will have a resources page. This is where the lecture videos and content can be found. So I'll go ahead and click on that just so you can see what's inside. So in the Chapter 1 resources page, you'll see a link at the top that lets you download a PDF version of the lecture slides. You can print it out and take notes on it. And if there's a practice problems worksheet available for the chapter, you would see a second link. For Chapter 1, it's mostly conceptual content, so there's no worksheet required. And then you can see I have 4 videos here that cover the Chapter 1 content. And then scrolling down further, as I mentioned, you can see the information on accessing VMware as well as turning on the Excel Data Analysis Toolpack. In week 1, there's also a required resources survey that you'll take to let me know where you are in terms of resources for the course. That way I can better support your learning needs. And there's a syllabus quiz to make sure that you understand the content in our syllabus. And then here's the Chapter 1 quiz and the Chapter 1 homework. And as you scroll further down, you can see we're still in week 1. I also provide a PDF version of Chapter 2, again, if you're still waiting for your book to come in the first week. If I go ahead and click on the Chapter 2 resources here, just so you can see what that includes, again, there's the link to the PDF version of the lecture slides. And then this is when we start to see the worksheet. So I do have a worksheet for chapters 2 and on that will help guide you as you watch the videos. So I recommend printing them out. And then as you watch these videos, you can fill out the worksheet so you get the practice that you need on the various problems. And in most chapters, there's also an Excel file. And then as you're watching the different tutorials, you can follow along and practice your Excel skills. And of course, at the bottom, I've got the VMware and Data Analysis Toolpack information. There's the Chapter 2 quiz and the Chapter 2 homework. And then in our first week, you do have a project proposal that is due. I also provide a video tutorial on how to work with our Excel data for our project. So you'll get to work with Excel a little bit in the first week. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Again, my email is ango@miracosta.edu. I look forward to having you in this summer course.